Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I am super excited that the channel has crossed the 1,000 subscribers milestone. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel. So today I'm going to address some of the questions that I received from my e-hailing video, and I promise that I'm going to do all my best to answer all those questions to my best ability. And I'm going to do that like in different parts, so make sure that you turn on your notification bells, because for the next 2 to 3 weeks I will only be posting content regarding to e-hailing business in South Africa. In today's video I'm just going to discuss a little bit on how you can make the most out of the e-hailing business in South Africa. Before I speak on how to increase your profit margin and increase your return on investment, the one question that I got that really stuck with me was that what is my approach, or what is our approach to the end game? What are we going to do with a car that has a super high mileage and very high cost of maintenance? The answer is that we actually haven't really thought about the end game. Currently we are slowly kind of like phasing out of the business. This question was really great because like it really gave us the ability to think, and I will tell you guys why we're phasing out. Not that the business is bad or anything, just because of our own personal reasons. But yeah, so we are still working on trying to find an answer to what is going to be our end game. With any business, there are things that you can control and things that you cannot control. So when you are trying to find ways on how to increase your profit margin, you have to work on the things that you can control. The main thing that increases or decreases profit in the business is cost. So when you are starting, when you're starting this business, or if you're already into this business, you need to think of ways on which you're going to cut costs. So here are 5 ways that has helped us to be able to reduce the cost of our business while making a good profit and also increasing our return on investment. The first one is getting a cheap car. If your car is financed, you want to have the lowest monthly repayment of your car in order for you to make a lot more money out of your business. On average, we charge our drivers about 1,800 every single month, but this differs depending on which city you are located in and what the agreement between you and your driver. Let's say you go for 2,000 every single week. On a good month, you would have received like 10,000. So out of the 10,000, if your repayment is like 5,000 or 6,000, your car repayment is like 50% of that income, then it's a little bit challenging, because from that 10,000, you need to put aside some money for maintenance. You also need to put aside some money for maintenance, money for insurance. So if you're going to take like 50% of the income and put it towards the car repayment, it is going to be a little bit challenging. So if it's a financed car, you want to try to get between 20 to 30%. That way you have a little bit more room for unexpected. You have a little bit more room for emergencies, because insurance is a big one, and that is also coming up on this list. So when it comes to the car, make sure that it's reliable and it's fuel efficient. The second thing that can eat on your profit and also delay your return on investment is maintenance. So the car has to be maintained. That we can't go around that. If the car doesn't get maintained, then along the line that car will probably break down and you will be out of business. So our approach to maintenance is that my husband learned basic mechanic stuff. So since the services have to be done quite often, he does them himself, and we also just have managed to find a reliable mechanic who doesn't charge us an arm and a leg to fix the car when there's a problem. Because like when you take your car to dealership, to like international dealerships, then it's expensive. It's expensive to get it serviced there. It's expensive to get it repaired. Our way around maintenance is that my husband learned basic mechanic, and servicing a car is not difficult at all. Like I promise you, I've seen how he does it, and I know there are ladies out there that are into this business, and you probably don't have the time to be servicing the car by yourself. That in that case, then just finding a local, reliable, trustworthy mechanic whom you can trust with your cars is the way to go. Okay, and then the third way that you can cut on cost is by using tracking technologies. So we didn't necessarily use this one because we've had really bad drivers and we've had great ones as well. So we really haven't we really haven't been compelled to like track the mileage that the drivers that the cars are being driven in relation to the money that is coming in. But we've spoken to other people who are in this business, and what they do is that they track the mileage. So let's say if you give them 2,000 rands every single month, they will be like, okay, for that 2,000 rand, if you drive about this amount of kilometers, that will be equivalent to the 2,000 rand. So every week when a driver comes in and they're like, I only made 1.5 or I only made 1,000, and when you look at the mileage they drove the car, when you look at the mileage on the car, it shows that the car was driven the car was driven a lot, then you are going to question them as to why was the car driven a lot and the money is not what it should be. And that way you also just keep them accountable, so that in a way that if they drive a lot more, if they drive your car a lot and like they've driven like long distance, then you can charge them, you can charge them a little bit more money. Yeah, the tracking technology works for other people, but for us we just never engaged ourselves into this because it was just a lot of admin, a lot of work to do, and also just more like micromanaging the drivers. We really didn't want to micromanage our drivers. We wanted them to feel comfortable and know that we trust them. The other big thing that eats on your profit is insurance. So insurance is a big one and it's a very controversial topic. So we have chosen to use normal insurance. We don't necessarily use insurance that has public liability cover. So before you get your car, so what we did is that obviously having commercial insurance is a requirement before you get on the platform. So we do get it initially to get on the platform, but we kind of like just stop using it and use normal insurance. We've been in a situation where one of the driver bumped another car, and this is like a story for another day because this was not even disclosed to us. We only came to find out like months later that the car was involved in an accident and we didn't know about it. But in case of insurance, public liability insurance is a little bit more expensive than comprehensive insurance, but we've just chosen to go like with comprehensive insurance. And when a company that we've used for public liability cover is Oaksurance. You can use we've used Oaksurance, and it was not like extremely expensive, it was quite affordable, but like, yeah, we just decided to take the risk and drive without public liability cover. And it is a huge risk because like anything can happen, but like, yeah, so no judgment here, but like, yeah, that is just what we chose to do. So saving us money, it has saved us money, and I know there are a lot of risks involved there, but like, yeah, so with any business there are risks, and you just, based on your level of tolerance, you choose what you can take, right? And then the last thing that can help increase your profit margin and your return on investment is having more than one car on the platform. Because let's say, for example, when you have more than one car, then you have a lot more money coming in. And if one car has a problem, or let's say if one car is broken down, then at least, you know, your cash flow doesn't stop. Your cash flow doesn't only depend on that one car. You have another car that is making money in order for you to either fix the other one or to keep you going while you are waiting for the other car to be fixed. So at the time when we only had one car, we were still doing okay, but having multiple cars on the platform does increase your ability to make more money, but it also just increases work for you, because now you have to manage more drivers, and it just becomes a lot of work. And so also with us, the fact since we only out of all the four cars that we had on the business, there was only one that we had like monthly repayment. The other ones we bought cash, and these we bought salvaged and repaid. Yeah, those are the ways that you can increase your profit margin and also increase your return on investment. So again, I don't want you guys to feel like this is an easy business to run, or it is a business that is impossible. There are challenges with any businesses that you choose to do. There are always challenges. It's just how, depending on your risk tolerance and your ability to navigate bad times. Yeah, and like again, having an emergency fund is always handy when it comes to this business, because anything can happen. We've had our cars we had one of our car was stolen like 3 times, and we've, like I said earlier on, we had a driver who was involved in a minor accident but never really disclosed that to us. All those are the things that you have to take into consideration that can happen. But one thing that I personally advise is that if you are going to start this business, you start it by yourself first. You see how it's going before you start employing people to do it for you. If you don't have time, you can directly start. With us, my husband did this by himself initially before we started getting people to do it for us, and I've done it as well. One of the other questions that I got was that what happens when you've received all your return on investment and now you have a super high mileage car. Now you have a super high mileage car that is very expensive to maintain, and because it now has like high mileage, it's kind of like difficult for you to sell it. Like, what do you do with that car? So our very first car is sitting right now, it is right now sitting above 300,000 kilometers, and it is expensive to maintain that car, so we kind of like took it out of the business and we started using it for personal use.